actually more exciting than figuring out how to become a millionaire.
This is going to be really good.
I mean, this is
Just
even more
save for years.
This is even more exciting than taxes, becoming a millionaire, right?
Yeah, all you got to do, save for the next million years, and you'll be a millionaire. That's it. It's that simple.
Well, let's put some numbers.
All right, let's do it.
Let's put some numbers to this. So if you start with nothing, I guess, right?
Okay.
And you save $500 a month, how long is it going to take to you're a millionaire? It's about 36 years. Okay.
So you got to start out pretty young. So if you look at this and say, all right, well, here I have some, young children, or if they can start saving a couple of bucks, right? 36 years is a long time to save $500 a month, but $1 million is no joke, right? So we're looking at how do you achieve that, and what have people done to achieve success is that they're diligent. They save diligently, and they save a lot, and they're pretty dedicated to what they're trying to accomplish.
But it does go to show if you're 30 years old and saving $500 a month, you get there at around 66. If you're 40 and have 100,000, it's roughly the same thing.
Yeah, and if you can save a little bit more, let's say you're starting from scratch, you save $2,000, now it's going to take you 20 years. In that same example, if you have $100,000 to begin with and you can save that $2,000, well, now it's 16 years. So it depends. As we get a little bit older, our cash flow increases because hopefully we're making a little bit more money. So then if you can start putting goals together, $2,000 a month, it's $24,000 a year. Maybe you save, $18,000 into your 401k plan and they match you to get you to that $24,000. So putting numbers on paper and kind of figuring out exactly what you need to do to get to that $1 million status, it's just putting a plan together, Al.
It is. And I think one of the most important concepts right off the bat is what's called paying yourself first. And that's simply the concept that you actually automate your savings. You pay yourself first. Maybe it's 401k. Maybe it's an auto withdrawal right out of your account into savings. Because what a lot of people do is they say, I'm going to save what's left over at month end. And typically the bills come up and you find ways to spend money. It's very hard to save that way. But if it happens automatically right off the bat, Joe, it tends to be a lot more effective.
Right. And you can do that by saving into your 401k plan, 403b plans. It just comes directly right off the top. Most people, they do the opposite. They pay themselves last.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to pay the bills. I got to do this. And then, if there's something left over, then that's what I'm going to save. You got to reverse the psychology. And you're the most important person here, right? You got to stop thinking about your today's self and think a little bit more about what you're going to be tomorrow, right? In the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
Let's talk about fast-tracking your savings, because when certain events happen and you end up with more money to work with, for example, maybe you get an annual raise. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. But when you do get a raise, then you want to save at least some of that raise. Or maybe you get a bonus. Maybe you're in a company that gives out bonuses. Make sure you try to save a big chunk of that. Or maybe you get an inheritance. These are ways, Joe, for people to fast-track savings.
Yeah, and then I think also you have to look at, being a little bit creative here too, is that a lot of us that are watching this show right now just might have a job in getting that one single income. Most millionaires have multiple streams of income. So they might have the 9 to 5, but they're doing some side hustling on the side, right? They're doing, or maybe starting a small business or doing some other things to bring in extra cash flow and saving that extra cash flow.
It is, and we find a lot of people doing that. It's kind of like the gig economy. And with the gig economy, it's like, how creative can you be? There's some obvious things like Uber, right? But what about dog walking? Or, Joe, there's something called...
That's a lot of dogs, Alan.
There's a lot
that you gotta walk to get to them.
I know, but I think the human billboard,
right.
You're tall. You'd be really good at that.
You could spin those little
Or
signs.
there's also something called rent a friend. You're pretty friendly.
Yes,
you can do that.
Yeah, that's what I do on the weekends.
That's what I thought.
That's exactly what I do on the weekends.
You were all right. You were right in there till the end. You basically tied.